Taurus, hello and welcome to your Spring 2024 Shapeshift reading, where we're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like over the course of the spring season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and I'm joined by this big, beautiful James R. Reed's box set called The Green Glyphs, and it is rune cards and dice, a Lenormand tarot deck, a regular tarot deck, and an oracle deck created by James. So this is such a cool box set. I'm loving getting to know it, and we're gonna work with it here for your spring shift. All right, Taurus, happy birthday in advance. I'm gonna start with some rune dice. We're gonna give them a good roll and see how you're shifting into spring. Okay. Yep, absolutely coming right off of the Aries reading. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to find the corresponding cards to the dice, and we'll meet back up and I'll show you what we got. Let's look at this together. So we're starting with Naughties, and Naughties is indicating a time of struggle, and you can see that in the card. This person is kneeling down. They are like pleading, begging for this drop of honey. And Naughties literally translates to need fire, and it's that deep need that begins to burn when things become difficult and when hardship is present. Necessity really shows itself. It's like the things we normally take advantage of, basic drinking water, food, the things that we typically have access to. When things get really hard and we're in times of struggle and scarcity and hardship, those basic needs become a fire. And so that's the story of this card. And it's just really speaking to the tough times that we're experiencing globally, but I'm here speaking from America, and this is, you know, with everything that's going on globally and all of the horror that we are seeing, that the impacts are felt, the watching other people's deep need fire becomes so apparent. And then as our society economy is questionably crumbling and people are desperate here in our country for their basic needs to be met. So Naughties, super strong energy here, spring 2024. This is the context for the next card, Kenaz, which is essentially a light in the dark. So we're looking at if the Naughties is the need fire, Kenaz is the fire itself. It's the match that is struck and that lights itself, the torch that illuminates the darkness. So we're talking about a card indicating some kind of illumination, some sort of light that is seen in the midst of these dark times. And the next card, Laguz. Laguz is the water, obviously. It is the flood, the tide. Water can indicate the subconscious. It can denote the moon, the way the moon pulls on the tides, and it's this sort of lunar, internal, mind, subconscious, emotional energy, this like rush of subconscious, the tide, the wave coming in. And the final card is an Anglo-Saxon rune, so not part of the Elder Futhark. Typically, it's ear. And ear talks about letting go. It talks about loss, talks about the impermanence of things. And it can indicate a difficult ending to something. And it also teaches that the end is always the beginning once again. So it indicates some sense of letting go and some sense of release. So Taurus, yeah, I mean, this is the context of the spring season here in 2024. This is the energy, is holding strong to this one little light in the midst of dark times, and just feeling these huge waves of loss that are literal, that are psychological, that are pulling on our insides and creating this sort of, again, like we're here in the dark of the night, in this lunar space of Laguz. And then the release, the letting go, the like helplessness that comes with the realization of the impermanence of things in the ear card. A hard loss, a hard ending. Okay. That seems about right. Let's look at the Lenormand deck. This is not traditional tarot. Lenormand is a different thing altogether. So we're going to read that together here and see if we can get a little more specific picture about how these runes are showing up. Wow. Wow. Yeah, totally. Okay, let's look at this together. We have the gentleman, the sun, the lady, and the whip. And you'll notice the gentleman and the lady are both card 29. It's the same card, and there's one more called the person in this deck. So the gentleman, the person, the lady, it's all indicating just like either you or people in your life or energies of the people at play in your situation. And so there's some sort of masculinity at play right underneath of this struggle with Naughties. And I immediately just think of like, the zoomed out social reading of these cards in Taurus season is men are the majority leaders in the world, making all of the decisions that are putting people in these need, fire, desperate sort of situations. So that is not something that can be ignored in this reading. And then we have this more feminine energy with the lady card underneath the Laguz, the water, the moon, a softer, different type of flow. A more internal space. Of course, the moon is connected with femininity in a really deep way, in a very like historically symbolic way and literal physical way. So we have that connection there. But for you specifically in your life, this could be talking about like actually a man, or a masculine figure in your life that is either experiencing this kind of Naughties need, desperation, necessity in hardship, or is bringing that kind of hardship. Or it could be you. It could be talking about you as a figure, as the gentleman figure experiencing this. And then interestingly that we have this burst of sunlight, this fire, Kenaz, as the light in the darkness. Like what a beautiful... I couldn't write it if I tried. Placement of these cards. The sun lighting up, illuminating, bringing hope, bringing good tidings. Actually, in Lenormand, the sun is a great card that you can get, bringing some sort of illumination, realizations, shedding light where there was once darkness. Let's just peek at the book really quick and see if there's anything else he has to add about that. Yeah, happiness, success, warmth, electricity, joy, brightness, summer. Okay, so there's some sort of like light in the darkness to be found in these times of hardship. And then the lady could be, again, you as the querent. It could be somebody else in your life, bringing the feminine energy, bringing that more emotional, intuitive, subconscious wave. It immediately makes me feel grief and think of the grief of women. This like deeply feminine grief under masculine rule. That's just what I see. But again, like for you, take it how it resonates in your specific life. This could be talking about a more literal person. And then we're ending here with card 11, the whip, right under ear. I mean, yeah, the whip is, it's an unfortunate card. It talks about like conflict and conflicts, arguments, and a whip is a weapon used to inflict pain. So that, coupled with this card of hard endings and loss over this conflict, we could look at this very specifically, Taurus, and see like a masculine and feminine energy that there's some sort of like difficulty in the circumstances that are either surrounding them or that they are enduring. There's conflict, there's fighting, there's warfare, there's loss, and there is like a desperate call for a basic need to be met here in that context. And then there's this beautiful beacon of hope shining through the middle of it that's indicating some kind of illumination, some kind of way through this darkness. And it also, with the wave coming next, it makes me think like the way out of the darkness is like feeling through it. Feeling the loss. God, it's hard. These spring readings, I mean, you should watch the Aries reading. You know, we're here in Aries, Taurus, and Gemini season in the spring. So these 3 readings are the tone, the vibe for all of us collectively this spring. So of course I encourage everyone in the spring season to watch the Aries, Taurus, and Gemini readings because they're collective as much as they are personal for y'all who are actually Taurus, Aries, and Gemini. But the Aries reading started here. Well, ended here. And here's where you're starting, Taurus, picking up where the Aries reading left off and talking about really similar themes already. So we're going to get into this now. We're going to read, the moon at the bottom of the deck, this moon energy, the pull, on your waters, you know, like Catherine came, I feel it in me waters. I feel it in me waters. Like this idea of like, I feel it in my guts. I feel it in my, like the waters in my, the fluids in my body are being pulled towards this way, towards this ending, towards this loss, towards this conflict, this something. Okay, anyway, sorry. We're gonna go on now to use the Green Glyphs Tarot and the Green Glyphs Oracle to tell the rest of this story. If it's resonating so far and you'd like to view that, click the link in the description below, and that will take you to the shifting space where we will explore these readings together as a community throughout the spring season. You'll have access to the full Taurus reading as well as the full readings for all the zodiac signs. So if that's something that you need, click that link and I'll see you over there. Okay, Taurus, let's pull tarot and get some more clarity on how this energy is showing up for you. Let's see if we can clarify these characters a little bit. Okay, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus in the spring.